I'm the play-by-play caster. I don't make predictions. What's that, Liz? That's your job, I think.
Yeah, I'm jealous because I'm sitting on some kitchen chairs, nothing really special. Meanwhile, I look at the panel. There is some very comfortable couches that you've got them. The sofa is nice as well. Jelly a little bit over here.
You do look cozy though. You still got the holiday spirit going, and we'll see if that holiday spirit's going to come into this game. It does feel like Christmas a bit today. T1 versus Boom Esports, the series so many people have been waiting for. The two teams, they said they haven't really got a chance to play each other in months, and they're the two, on paper, best teams in Southeast Asia right now.
Yeah, this series is definitely hype. Like, in all seriousness,
first thing that sounds to me with TB Storm Wraith King is like super greedy. They should be good in the late game, but without a counter to PL, does that mean they have to try and win the game earlier?
I feel like it will come down to a little bit of outplays in that mid game as well. PL, like we mentioned, is very strong later on, but it's not like T1 is defenseless. They're really greedy. You can itemize against the PL, perhaps something that's not really very common. Well, in Chinese region it became again like Armored into Radiance on Wraith King after that blink and whatever, right? So you're able to deal with the illusions a little bit, Storm Ags later on, things like that, right? Itemize a little bit for him. It's not, you don't have really the heroes to deal with him effectively, but you can always find the items for it.
Okay, well, we're going to get things underway. It's the game we've all been waiting for. T1 versus Boom, game one of this best of three. And a very, I would say, unconventional draft coming from T1. The offlane Wraith King and just even the other cores, TB and Storm coming back. On the Boom side, they're going for a PL counterpick. Yopaj, Ember, and a Mars as their offlaner for FBZ. Yopaj Ember, I feel like we're going to talk a bit about this. He has looked amazing on this hero Lizard.
I feel like Yopaj has been looking amazing for 2-3 straight seasons on whatever he plays, really. Like, this guy has been on fire. No pun intended here, but yeah, there's a reason he's an idol in the SEA scene, so we'll see how he fares against Storm. The matchup is all right for him.
Yep. We've seen so far, it should just be a bit of a farm trade unless some of those outplays do end up happening, which could lead to kills down bottom. We've got the Tim's Rubik looking to support FBZ, the Whitemon Ogre on the Radiant side trying to secure the TB's lane. Do you see any potential to try and pressure this TB, stop him from farming down here?
Oh, definitely. Rubik and Mars, it's one of those combos that have been around since Mars has been around. Like, you have a lot of nuking potential with the Fade Bolt versus all the illusions from TB. Obviously, you can't underestimate the strength of 23savage once he gets meta. That's something to look out for, but overall, you should be the ones pressuring the TB.
Okay. You know, pressure Carl in this mid lane, getting pretty low, but has his bottle coming out, and also getting Yopaj nice and low. Yopaj still a little bit away from his. He needs a creep or two to finish off this bottle in the mid lane. Until that point, this could be a bit of a rough mid lane, but it does look like both mid lanes should get their bottles out a-okay here. Yopaj just trying to go for the creeps, not the kills. Down bottom.
In for him.
Tims could be in some trouble here. Gets slowed down by the Ignite and the Fire Blast. One or two more right clicks. Can Savage get the minimal? He gets the slow with the Reflection, and it is going to be enough. 23savage gets the kill. No opportunity for Rubik to salve up there.
That's it as well, right? Like, you try to pressure the TB way too much, he pops his meta, and then suddenly you're the one that's having to retreat, so perhaps over-aggressive a little bit on the side of Boom. And Rubik is strong, but level 2 Rubik, not that dangerous, that scary.
For a lesson. Denied.
Now we'll see, maybe a couple more levels in this lane can start to swing more in their favor with higher points in the Fade Bolt, the Spear, and some of these other spells, but not going to be the case for the time being. Some of these other lanes, Tino's PL so far farming just fine in the top lane.
Yeah, it looks like their lanes are going well, right? The PL 15 CS, Mars 15 CS on the offlane as well. Ember is the only one that's kind of struggling a little bit for the side of Boom. And I'm surprised, like, this top lane, I feel that it could go way worse for Cuckoo and Zephyr, early on at least. But they've managed to control the equilibrium a little bit, farm under their tower, like they're doing right now.
Yep.
The longer the game goes, obviously, the stronger they become. Weaver's swarm is not something that Disruptor can deal with, but Zephyr.
Yeah, he's gonna be a little bit careful. Ran in trying to get some harass off, but maybe wasn't ready for that sentry ward, which Boom to get some good damage off of him, but doesn't lead to a kill. Back in the mid lane, Ember and Storm keeping an eye on these two as they both constantly getting very low. It's gonna be Storm falling back to grab his bounty rune while stacking his small camp. Yopaj may come over and snipe this.
Stupendous!
See if that's going to be the case. He wanted to get the top 4-minute rune, but Zephyr doing a good job rotating in to deny these runes. But bottom rune will be secured for the Ember.
Yeah, Teams secures it for him. Rubik managed to rotate around and just secure that Yopaj gets at least one of those runes. But it feels so good to be a Weaver in this meta. Like, there's just so many objectives that need you to be there on time. And with that Sukuchi, you can always make it. Secure the runes, stack up camps, doesn't matter. It's not only the lane that you're strong in, it's just everything in the game that you're doing.
The Porch just does a little bit of everything well. But they do have at least some answers for a pesky Weaver in the mid-game. Disruptor looking like a pretty value pick here when you consider heroes like Storm, Weaver, Terrorblade, who rely on some of their spells to kind of escape or survive. Disruptor does feel like a really nice option for Scam.
Oh, like 100%. Not only later on with the Glimpse and Static Storm, it's the fact that you can actually do well against the Weaver in the lane with Thunderstrike. You can see the level 2 on him.
He's getting very low. Has the 6 charges, so he'll be fine, but very efficient harass coming up from Whitemon with the level 2 Ignite, so seeing the power of this Ogre right now.
Yeah, it's Whitemon snacked a little bit too many cookies, turned into Ogre, just destroying the Rubik. It's not fun. Like, he doesn't even have Orb of Venom on the Ogre Magi, and he's still just being able to zone them out alone. Mars doesn't care though.
They're rotating in mid. Yopaj a bit low in mana here. Gonna pop his last bottle charge. Weaver thinking about making a play, but the Ember's already TP back to base just for a reset. Feels like the call is, let's just play this lane stage passive. Yopaj just using his TP to heal himself up, refill his bottle, and reset things here in the mid lane.
Yeah, you could see actually Rubik TPing from from the fountain into the rune to protect it, but Ogre grabs it. Top lane Cuckoo getting a bit low, but yeah.
Often, yeah, battle between the spirit heroes in the mid lane is going to lead to these power runes being very high value and something that both teams want to prioritize.
Yeah, 100%, because if you're Boom right now, you don't really have enough catch for the Storm Spirit. You can perhaps lift, but you don't even have chains on Ember.
Bottom lane,
get the kill.
They go in, they want FBZ here. Zephyr's rotated and sets up for a kill. 23savage got really low. He was kind of low. He was the bait there to set that one up, and T1 get themselves a nice kill, but they've got to be careful. Carl is being pressured, watching his small camp get kind of stolen here. Gets forced away from it as Yopaj will clear it up.
Yeah, he'd really love to get those creeps that he stacked for himself, but sadly the Rubik rotation allows Ember to steal them. At the same time, the Rubik rotation allows Mars to die on the bottom lane, right? So it all comes with a cost. But one cost that you aren't, like, usually if the position 4 goes safe lane, your off lane is suffering, but Cuckoo isn't, because he's this Wraith King. He can just fall back into the jungle, farm up.
Scam does block the camp, drop a sentry. I think recognizing, T1, they want to play greedy Dota. Let's try and at least delay them as much as possible, cause them some problems. See what Boom's first couple of moves are going to be. They've got the PL free farming away. It doesn't really seem like they're in any rush to make any moves right now, Lizard. Do you think that's going to change sometime soon?
Well, Mars has hit his level 6. I think with one good rune, you can see Yopaj rotating down bottom, pressuring the Mars with the arena, perhaps to try and get that kill. Whitemon
has the remnant, so yep, he'll join up with Tim's down there. Once the Whitemon kill, has a sleight of fist in 1 second, gets the kill, and takes out Whitemon.
So they did get the kill on him, but they didn't get the rune on Yopaj, and he's kind of...
A bit surprising to see both these carries having such a good time in their lane, and both teams opting to play this kind of slower, more passive game.
yeah, perhaps a bit more acceptable for the PL, as he is playing versus a Wraith King. Shouldn't be that hard for him to stay in this lane. But there's a smoke happening from the move that I anticipated for the bottom lane is actually happening for top. Zephyr and Karl.
Yep.
I'm getting a...
Got the Weaver bugs as a way to kind of stay on top of the PL, know which one's the real one, and they lead off with the bugs and the electric vortex. Tino gonna try get his way out of there with the doppelganger, but unfortunately for him, they know instantly which is the real one. The panel mentioned it, Sheepo said it, the Swarm, one of the few pesky things in this game for a PL, and that really makes it easy for T1 to make that gank work.
Yeah, and they didn't really get a lot out of it. Disruptor Scam, he stacked a couple of camps, Rubik as well. So basically they're accepting this fate, and Scam right now, he's going to get the Omen here.
Yeah, shows himself in the top lane, and Cuckoo's there to meet him, but does get the TP out, but that could just open up this top lane for the taking as T1. They want to get this tier 1, but Tino just TP's in very boldly, happy to feel like he can defend this on his own. Is going to need some backup, and that's going to come initially from Tim's Rubik TPing to the tier 2. So, Boom looking to defend their top lane.
And Karl, though, look at what he's found.
Ooh, Karl found himself a juicy looking Rubik kill. Tims gets the lift out, but with the Wraith Fire Blast there, Karl has to just get out of there. The Mars TP rotation, FBZ. He shows up to the party, takes out Cuckoo to start things off, and 2 kills go the way of Boom.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, Yopaj instantly goes back mid, defends the tower, also takes the rune. Meanwhile, I don't know if anyone can handle. Okay, FBZ is gonna go for it. He's going to take these stacks, and yeah, a little bit of over aggression there from T1, going a bit too deep there. Like.
I was going to say, yeah, it feels like they forced it a bit, and because of that, they get pushed out the top, and suddenly, Boom's able to farm up all these stacks and really, feel like they've got some breathing room.
They had a very nice deep ward that scouted Dire jungle, and it is what baited them into this false sense of security. Let's go in, let's fight. But
yeah,
when PL is already there on the tier 1, it's so easy to surround them, punish them for that invasion.
Yep. They're kind of the ones with the, at least for now, well, the greedier draft. Like the Mars is more than ready to TP in and start taking some of these fights. And same story with the Ember. Now that he's managed to get his hands on some of these power runes, he's got an Arcane rune, level 9. Boom. Got to imagine they're ready to fight around this Mars and Ember. They're both kind of hitting some early game power spikes.
Yep, you can see that on the mid lane, Ember is smoked up, setting up for the kill and perhaps to take down the tier 1 tower, but their problem is no chains, right? It's kind of a standard build, 044 on Ember. So even if you smoke up, how do you actually engage? Like, how do you set up a fight? It's very difficult. You don't have Blink Dagger on the Mars. You don't have a level 6 on Rubik. I feel like that's the reason why they picked this Rubik, to be able to steal that Sokuchi and actually be the first one up front in the mid game.
Need to find a way for Tims to get his level 6, 12 minutes in, and he's not quite there. He's just about to reach it. They prioritized Disruptor getting Static Storm to make some ganks, but unfortunately for Boom, that didn't quite pan out initially, but now Tims has hit level 6, so we'll have that opportunity to steal Shikuchi if he can find the Weaver.
Yeah, and it's understandable, right? Getting that Static Storm usually does pay out earlier on Disruptor than on Rubik. And that first Static Storm usually nets you a kill, so...
Yeah, they're probably thinking, how do we start making some moves? They see T1, playing aggressive. They win a fight. They want to look for that next good fight. It is even in terms of gold, but seeing the net worth of some of these heroes, it's, a bit of a farm disparity between the TB and the rest of the kind of cores in the game. But at the same time, Boom have good farm on all 3 of their core heroes, so they probably aren't too concerned right now.
Bottom tower is under
it definitely feels like Boom is taking more out of the map. More evenly distributing it between their cores, at least. It looks like Ember will TP top.
Is under attack.
And defend this one. They show the Ember here. He's got backup coming from behind. The supports making their move from the tier 2 tower further back, and 23savage committed a metamorphosis for this. That's why Boom feel like they had to make this rotation up here to defend with multiple heroes. They did leave FBZ down bottom to keep farming towards his Blink, and if he can get a Blink, suddenly they are the ones who are going to have this scary initiation.
And he's got that link, right? He just purchased it like you called.
Dire's middle tower
This is-
under attack.
This doesn't look like SCA to me, like at all. Like there's 0 tier 1 towers. They can only 6 kills 12 minutes in. What is that? Like 1 kill every 2 minutes? Come on,
Yep.
T1 boom. What's happening here?
You say it doesn't look like SC. I would even add, this doesn't look like any of the regions. This is both teams playing like, I don't know if it's nerves or just like maybe a place. It seems maybe more like a playstyle choice with their greedy drafts, but almost every region we're watching these teams where it's like, okay, you know, 10 minutes in, you rotate to the off lane, try to take a T1 tower, enemy does the same. This time around, none of those big rotations.
Yeah, but they're rotating mid. Yeah,
Yep.
right, Mon.
They feel like they've got their arms. The diffusals come out on the PL, so he can actually get involved here. Tino's ready to fight. Cuckoo can't rely on his ultimate. They get a great FBZ blink. Arena ball, but he gets the reincarnation off. Tino couldn't burn enough of his mana, but the second life from Cuckoo could still be taken away by Boom if they want to get it, but they're going to be forced back here. The Storm's kind of bowling on in. He's got a almost full mana pool to start things off here. Burning through it quickly, though. He's got to be careful. Tino's pretty tanky. With the shrink treads and fluffy hat, he manages to doppel walk his way out of there, and it's a spear on a Cuckoo on the front lines. As the sun gets
nice
stolen here,
Sunder.
Sunder from 23savage saves him and keeps him alive on the front lines here with the armlet being toggled
There's a
back
glimpse.
on. Cuckoo still alive for now. The Searing Chains locks him in place. The Storm re-jumps here. He wants to go back in. Tim's is low. Should be a kill for the Storm. That's a first kill after like a minute of fighting here. And the second kill could be Yopaj on the Ember if he's not careful on the backlines. The Static Storm is off the mark here. Weaver Shikuchi's away back to the safety of the high ground here. Zephyr, can he be hunted? Doesn't look like it. All of that. Lizard, we got 1 kill.
1 kill and that's it. We got
What is
Rubik.
this?
Do we count the kill on the
Dire's
Raid
turret
King?
has been killed.
Yeah, at level
I get-
1 reincarnation, I think you count.
Yeah, okay, but only level 1. We'll give that to
Half
them.
a kill, half a kill.
Crazy teams. He even almost survives. He stole a really nice time lapse over there. When Storm jumped him, he manages to get back to full life. One problem is Weaver, Zephyr, he was cutting the backlines. He went on top of Scam and Mars, but like oddly, they didn't
Radiant's
communicate
middle tower
well.
is
They
under
they
attack.
popped the Static Storm, and then he gets speared out of the Static Storm instantly. So that's why it was off the mark. By the time Kinetic Field got up, the spear had already taken him out of it. So yeah, like damn, it's such a long fight, no kills. Crazy.
Yeah,
Radiant's middle tower
you see this
is under
boom drop and
attack.
you expect them to be able to get kills with a
Radiant
blink on Mars, but
structures
just
are
really good
fortified.
defensive play, posturing from T1, keeping these kind of tankier heroes on the front line.
Dire's
And
structures are
yeah,
fortified.
between, you know, Storm, TB, and Wraith King, they've all got pretty decent HP, and they're not easy kills by any means.
There's the spear, blink.
Yeah,
This should be a kill,
easy
right?
kill. They're like, let's go for the supports. These cores are too hard. The Static Storm on top of the Storm. He needs to get out of this Kinetic Field. Is the damage going to be there? Storm will get out in a second here. The Searing Chains is going to be off the mark.
It's the Ember.
I believe. Oh, Ember goes down. And Boom are going to have to maybe just back out of here.
Spells. Static Storm was there, Arena was there, and then FBZ goes back together with the Disruptor, while Ember is committing. So Ember commits. I believe he missed the chains, but that's about it. It's. I think if Mars commits, he dies and he trades his life for the Storm, which in my opinion would have been worth it.
Yep. Yeah, Ember at the end, I guess there was just a few too many targets. I think even some TB illusions around him, meaning the Searing Chains couldn't quite latch on. And well, for Boom, they'll have Ember respawning soon, but they're now down a couple thousand gold. They have still got this PL factor playing into TB and Wraith King. That was another thing that didn't quite go right for them in that
Radiant's bottom
previous team
tower
fight, was
is under
killing
attack.
Cuckoo and preventing him getting off reincarnation. When they go on him and have the PL diffuse on their side, they're expecting to be able to kill him without reincarnation popping.
Yep. One craziest thing that I'm seeing right now in this game is that Cuckoo is disregarding the initiating factor completely,
Dire's
and he's just
top
going straight
tower
into
is under
Radiance.
attack.
So Armored Radiance, that's it. Like,
Dire's
look at
top
me.
tower
I'm
is
the true
falling.
carry now. That's Cuckoo.
Yeah.
Radiant
Probably got
are
TV
scanning.
thinking like, what the hell's going on here? 23savage is like, this is not what I agreed to. I need to, you know, check the terms of my contract. Nice blink spear mid. Carl, he zipped into it, going for some creeps, and FBZ was there ready for him.
Yeah, really nicely played there with God's Rebuke,
Radiant's
with the
middle
spear.
tower is under
Catches
attack.
the Storm Spirit off guard.
Dire's
I'm surprised they're not
structures
pressuring
are
this tower. Well, why not take it? There we go. They're gonna go in, I suppose. Yeah, you need to
Yeah, so low.
continue. Yeah.
And Skem is set up. If anyone comes to defend it, he can, you know, offer a glimpse threat where you find yourself another kill. So free T1 tower because they killed the Storm, and T1 nothing they can do to defend it right now.
If you look at it that way, with Cuckoo's item build, what it does is, yeah, it gives you the Radiance later on, which is really nice, right? The burn, the mischance versus all the illusions, it's great, but Storm is forced to be the one that initiates. Like, he is your only initiating tool at the moment. That doesn't feel great.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Well, when he gets this Radiance and potentially Blink Dagger afterwards, is that where you think things will start to look a whole lot better for T1?
We can discuss it. It's arguable because usually by the time your offlaner gets all these items, your team is falling behind, right? James?
Yeah. Wasn't expecting him to get out of this one. It was nice getting coming up there, but he's actually juked into the trees. Ignite damage, yeah. He throws a Fate Bolt. And elsewhere, they've gone in and killed the Storm again.
Yeah, they killed the Storm and the Weaver, right? Both of them.
Yeah. Wraith King, meanwhile, bottom lane, Tino's looking for a solo kill into Cuckoo, but doesn't have the damage, and Cuckoo will just keep himself back to base.
This is kind of what I meant. Your offlaner isn't really able to do a lot on the map. He's able to farm, and that's about it. I guess you can force fights, force objectives, like just running into the pit or running on that tier 1 tower with reincarnation, right? Like, you can do those kind of plays, but you don't have a Mars with a Blink Dagger. You don't have initiation.
Yep. And usually, like, yeah, you play like this offlane Wraith King going full greed. It's surely going to come at a cost, and this game, it hasn't come at a cost of the TB's farm. It's the Storm's game who is really struggling. Like you say, he's kind of going to be the initiation. He's also just the one who doesn't have any farm for himself on this map.
Now rekindle.
Yep, they're taking away way too much. Zephyr.
That did go for the time lapse. Get a sentry here, the glimpse back. He's still maybe okay, but the Searing Chains will catch him. Coming in as Whitemon, looking for the setup onto Yotaj. He gets the Fire Blast, and with 23savage backing him up, they get the kill on Ember, and Weaver even escapes with his own life. Skem should be next here. Carl doing a great job turning this fight around for his team, as T1 have shown up at the perfect time to punish Boom's over-aggression.
Yeah, you put it very nicely, over-aggression. When you're going that deep, 2 tier 2 towers are alive around you. Maybe you can kill something like an Ogre or a Storm if you catch them, but Weaver is a little bit harder. He's got that time lapse. The glimpse was on point, but it took him way too far out. Ember had to dive a bit too deep, and then he gets controlled. But overall, Tino does have that Manta and Diffusal now, so if you're Boom, you definitely do want to be fighting all the time. I believe a smoke will come from them very soon.
And well, yeah, perhaps the ultimate late game carry this game, but also going to be a very strong force here in the mid game. Nothing stopping him from getting involved at this point, and T1 going to have to be careful and kind of respect what he brings to the table.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
One nice thing that they do... one nice thing that they do have besides the Radiance that they're going for is Weaver's build. He's going for straight into Gleipnir, so not only for PL but for the Ember as well. The Shard plus Gleipnir is also really nice. Shard plus Maelstrom, that is, on Weaver.
Yeah, not too far away from the Maelstrom, at least. Well, halfway through, so he'll be getting there in some time. Bottom lane, though, Boom, with their strength and the power of this PL, they're just going to walk up and take a tier 2 tower. They want to defend their own tower, though. They can take this enemy outpost and get themselves a kind of map control advantage. They'd be very happy with this. One of the things I'm curious about, often in these like slow-paced games, teams are going to start really playing around Roshan. We're not seeing that yet, but do you see Roshan, you know, starting to play a bigger part fairly soon?
I feel like both of the teams don't have the best Roshan taking capabilities. Like T1 perhaps a little bit easier, simpler for them. It depends if you get a good pick off or not. It's not like you have a little Shredder plus Medallion plus, I don't know, TA, right? There's a Weaver on one side, which is always helpful with the Swarm. Also, there's more damage, I feel like, coming from T1 into the pit, so... Perhaps if they can get a pick off or two, they can try for it. Once that Radiance is done, that is.
Yeah. They've got the Radiance now. The Blink a little bit further away to make this Storm's life so much easier. And yeah, Carl with the BKB, only 100 gold away. T1 do appear to be hitting a pretty decent power spike fairly soon. And that Boom may not be quite so ready for.
Maybe this is something that T1 has prepared exactly for Boom. Maybe they thought, okay, these guys, they like to take it a bit slower, at least versus us. So let's adapt to that. Let's just be as greedy as possible, because this is ultimate greed from T1.
Ember tries to get the rune. It's going to spawn bottom, but now he's going to be running, grab the rune, force down his BKB. They get the spear follow-up onto the Stormtrooper. Have they got the damage to bring him down? The Mars going to get the arena and kill off the Storm. FBZ coming in to save the day. The Savage Storm follow-up is there, and that's going to be enough to kill the first life of the Wraith King. He is going to be respawning, but he's lost his Ogre as well in the time being. 23savage on the TB being forced back. Tino going to burn through his entire mana pool, and Cuckoo on the respawn is just going to die a second time. They've killed off 3, they want 4. 23savage turns Sun as he wants to fight. Can he BKB TP out? Anything to cancel it? No.
That's straight rush, right? Like, you just killed 3 heroes. Yeah, your team does not take rush very easily, but when you get such a good team fight, you go straight into it. And Yopaj was like, step aside, boomers. Like, my fingers are way quicker. He's the one that broke the smoke, and he pops that BKB and takes the double damage rune in front of their asses. Like, Yopaj is such a player, man. Like,
so ballsy.
fast.
Like,
yeah.
He made the move top to try grab the rune with the flame remnant in and out, and it didn't spawn there. But then he's like, okay, I'm just gonna walk up. Bottom, they're going for the roast still. Storm, he gets instantly lifted up and stunned and disabled, and that's another kill going their way. He wasn't even close to getting the timing right on the Roshan, so another kill goes Boom's way.
You know what that is? That's okay, Wraith King, you want to take all my farm? You want to take all my farm?
Yeah.
And then you zip into the pit.
Well, we'll see a replay of that last fight. It was such a good play from Yopaj to get the BKB off, and then FBZ shows up to follow it up, gets the spear into the side of the wall with the arena, and the Static Storm on top just made this all too easy for Boom Esports.
Just a clean fight, right? And everyone is attacking the right target. The spear is there after the reincarnation. The PL is on top of TB. Nicely done by 23savage. He understands that he needs his wand to be able to survive. Pop that Sunder, BKB, TP out. At least he survived, which is definitely important for them, as he now has that Skadi as well completed.
Yeah. And it looks bad for the Storm. Well, both those deaths is like, you know, I'm sure people are like, oh, Storm, you know, passive BKB and stuff, but he doesn't want to BKB off the Searing Chains there, and then this Mars Blink on top of him. You just have to be so fast to react there, and Carl getting bested by FBZ in kind of the reaction battle has to make sure that he gets it off in these future fights.
Arena, mid lane.
And they kill this Wraith King. They glimpse him back, and he has got an ultimate here, but back up a little bit far away. But T1 are looking like they want to come and take this fight here. Yopaj is going to commit a BKB of his own. Cuckoo doesn't get caught by the Searing Chains, and the Sunder, 23savage, looking to help his buddy out. Storm is jumping on the backlines here. He wants the kill on Yopaj. Carl, can he get it? He BKBs for this and everything, and Yopaj will go down to one more right click. Carl, he committed his entire mana pool. Now the question is, can he get out? And it looks like with the help of the Weaver zoning them away, he'll be A-OK.
Extremely greedy movement there from Boom. They had the Aegis, but they didn't have PL around, and they go on the Wraith King. They popped, again, some miscommunication happening between Scam and FBZ. They popped the arena, and then they glimpse him out of the arena. It's, let's just say, not ideal way of using that combo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens. And Wraith King is very tanky with that second life, so if you don't kill him very fast, you will be punished for it 100%.
PL looking to take a page from his book. He's now tanked up his way to a Heart of Tarask. Have they got the damage to kill this PL? Like, how do they beat a PL, not even in late game, just like right now with these items?
It's difficult, to say the least.
Yep.
I feel like you have to deal with everyone else and then deal with him, perhaps.
Okay. The PL just take advantage of his low damage output, maybe?
Yeah, just kill off the Disruptor, the Rubik. then follow up into
Radiant's
then follow
middle
up
tower
into
is under
the
attack.
PL kill.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
If they're able to kind of execute the team fight the way they need to here,
Radiant are scanning.
gonna let their mid tower just get poked away at, and you know, Yopaj did end up BKBing here. He's gonna actually force 23savage to BKB
Radiant's middle
TP out
tower
as
is
well.
under
So
attack.
both cores using a BKB charge.
Radiant
Meanwhile,
structures are
just
fortified.
going on top of that tier 2 tower on the mid
Radiant's
lane,
middle tower is under attack.
taking that out. But there's definitely
Dire's
ways for
top
T1 to
tower
fight.
is under
With the
attack.
Blink Radiance on Wraith King, I feel that
Radiant's
they
middle
can
tower
eliminate
has
the
fallen.
squishier targets. Plus they have that Light Mirror on Zephyr. They're getting there, they're getting the damage that's needed.
For now, they'll at least stall it out to maybe just at least wait for this Roshan Aegis to expire. Only 1 minute left on it, and they've done a good job, you know, still finding farm. You've got Storm farming up the jungle in the top lane, pushing it out, and making sure that the farm discrepancy between the two teams doesn't continue to increase. And even though Boom have had an Aegis, they've
Storm,
only managed
farm.
to get themselves a 1k lead. He gets speared into the trees here. There's no
fine, right?
follow-up initially. He's going to, yeah, just hold TP.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Like you said, they're just waiting for the Aegis to run out. You can see the way that they're playing T1. It's 23savage pressuring the bottom lane with illusions all the time, farming the enemy triangle a little bit, and that's what's very interesting about these two wards that are in the enemy. Oh,
Blink in. He BKBs out of fear of the Wraith Fire Blast.
Bottom tower is
So
under
that's going to pull
attack.
Cuckoo back into the T1 mid tower. Yopaj has to kind of remnant himself away without a BKB. He's going to be careful how he takes his fight. The Storm zipping in on the backlines here. It's caught the Disruptor. Can he finish off the kill? Carl, he's a bit low on mana here, but elsewhere his PL has just shredded his way through the Wraith King. And Weaver going down as well means this fight is all but over for T1. They're in full retreat. BKB TP out from 23savage. Doesn't look like they'll find any follow-up kills unless they can get Carl here, and he's a bit low on mana. They may be able to chase him down. That's exactly what Yopaj wants to do. He sees Carl, he's hungry, like a shark in the water. He smells blood, and Carl is out of mana here. No mana on the Yopaj's Ember Spirit, but I don't think it's going to matter as Carl gets a Static Storm dropped on top of his head, and he will go down.
Yeah, T1 again, they're trying that play in which they just go up front with the Wraith King and hope that they can fight afterwards, after his reincarnation that is. And it sounds solid, but you're playing into an arena, and you're playing into all these spells that are so easily just set up in the arena where you're fighting, right?
Radiant's top
So
tower has
the
fallen.
Static Storm, the arena as well. Weaver, I don't know what he was doing. Zephyr,
Dire's
in all
bottom
honesty,
tower is under attack.
he just got caught by the arena together
Radiant's
with the
top
Storm
tower
Spirit.
is under
Storm
attack.
zips out, Zephyr just dies. I don't think you even noticed him, right? Like, in that fight, he didn't do anything. So, need to approach the fight a little bit more carefully there.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Can't really
Radiant's top
afford to go on
tower is
Yopaj when
fallen.
you can just, you know, easily
Dire's
click his
bottom
BKB as
tower
we've seen a
is
few
under
times. They
attack.
don't have the chain disable to
Radiant's
really
top
threaten to
barracks
kill
are
him
under attack.
before the BKB comes off. And off of that, Boom are just going to walk up, take their first racks of the game. 31 minutes into the game. They've got themselves a racks advantage and a 4k gold lead, not the
Radiant's
biggest of
top
leads.
barracks has
And there is
fallen.
that, you know, kind of late game potential of T1 with this 3 carry draft. They've got that Wraith King off lane with a Armlet Radiance, so definitely not a scenario where they're completely out of this one just yet.
Yeah, definitely not, but this smoke feels a little desperate at least. But they have to do something like that. They need to engage and find the right target. It's just that the amount of their control is so very low. Like you called it earlier, Wraith King's Blast and Arena mid.
Arena Spear. They've caught Cuckoo. He's got the shot, so not really in any threat of going down here to the PL. He's willing to throw away his first light with the Storm following it up. Carl, he's looking for the Phantom Lancer, but the PL kind of gets away for the time being. They want PL. Tino gets caught by the Vortex with the TB. Metamorph damage. They've got the PL. Great find from T1. They found a new target they want to prioritize. Tim's looking for the TP out, but he's being detected, and 2 kills go T1's way.
Who would think that this PL would die that quickly and easily to them? Just good control. And here I was just saying a second earlier that they don't really
Dire's
have
middle
too
tower
much.
is under attack.
But yeah, Tino a little bit abandoned by his teammates. Obviously, the arena used earlier, they didn't have anything to save him.
Yopaj.
Yopaj.
Goes in solo with the BKB. He wants Whitemon. Needs to get the kill before the BKB wears off, and he TP's out because he doesn't want to die, but he gets rooted. The Gleipnir. And Cuckoo's there for the follow-up. They're going to bring him down. He loses a gem. Wait, did they notice? Someone get the gem. Okay, Zephyr.
Zephyr, yeah.
Yeah.
There's the spirit on it.
No.
He doesn't see it because of the remnant.
The couriers are all going out. One courier.
The courier will give it away.
Kill the couriers.
Oh, you're giving.
They realize what?
They still don't realize.
No. That's a. I mean, gem 900 more 900 gold swing plus. You're losing the gem plus gaining. It's an 1800 gold swing. If they can grab that one, there's another courier. PL's is coming for it. He's like, it's my turn.
Dire's middle tower
This is sick.
under
Yeah.
attack.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Radiant even have a ward where the gem is, but they just don't realize. Oh, they see it now. They're pinging the courier. I think they realize what happened.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Just Dota 2 things.
Yeah. There were times like long ago when you would try to mask the gem by planting the tree or something like that, right? But I haven't seen this one.
That's
before.
not even that boomerish. You know, the real boomer one is you deny the gem when you're about to die. They made it so you can't deny gems anymore because everyone would do that. You're about to die, you drop on the ground and you kill it.
Blast from the past with Grandpa Parker and Lizard.
Yeah, you're just the first generation boomer. I'm like third generation boomer.
Yeah, you're definitely a grandpa here. All right, T1 with another smoke going towards that dire jungle, setting up for the next rush, which is up already. So if they get a good fight around this high ground, this game could easily completely swing in their favor.
We've seen if they can figure out which is the real PL, which maybe these Weaver bugs will serve that purpose. It's TB with all the buffs, the Bloodlust, the Solar Crest. If he's attacking the real PL, that fight can go their way.
But now you even have Aghanims in store.
Right, Mon. They go in. This is just an ogre, though. A lot committed. BKB on the Mars within the arena, but he's got a refresher. That's why he doesn't mind using all of this just for a support.
This can be very dangerous, though. Arcane Rune on the storm.
They still want to fight. They've got this ward advantage on the high ground here. They want to fight underneath it. The Storm goes in with the Arcane Rune. FBZ with his second arena plus the BKB. He's trying to keep them at bay here, but 23savage on the Metamorphosis TB. He's charging forward. They found the real PL, but Tina gets off a doppelwalk. His bug's been dealt with. And Ogre going to buy back for this fight with the Disruptor buying back as well. Both teams wanting to make sure they win this fight. That should help. Which will be second Roshan.
Yeah, no one really getting anything there, right? The Scam dies, Whitemon buybacks, Scam buybacks, but you can't really fight it. You can't fight the rush any longer. TB is just way too big, he still has that meta. But they smoked up.
It's too late. And I guess that's what T1 did get, is they won the cooldown battle because Mars used BKB Refresher. He used double BKB, double ulti, and they didn't win the fight, whereas TB, his Metamorph was still going.
Yeah, exactly. Can they catch Carl here, maybe?
Oh. Falls out of there. Carl has got the Ag Shard, so he gets that overload activation.
Do you love me as he zips away?
He's been spamming that all game. It is creepy.
Radiant's middle tower is under
The storm is so huge right now. Like Carl has the Aghanims, he also took the shard, so he has that overload to work with. The AoE as well.
We haven't been seeing much Storm. It feels like, you know, the Ember's been like the go-to spirit. Even Void Spirit's being picked up more. Are you seeing this game and what Carl's done? Are you feeling like Storm is a bit underrated, or was this just like a good Storm game?
It's a decent Storm game, but I'm surprised that in SEA Storm isn't as popular because in, let's say, in the Chinese region, Storm is picked up quite a lot. It's like Storm, Queen of Pain, Puck. Ember is actually not the one that's picked as much there.
Okay.
They're all kind of similar, right? Like these flashy heroes for very high skilled players on the mid lane that can create space and play make in the mid game.
Now Carl going to have a lot more aggressive playmaking potential with an Aegis in hand. Storm, one of the best Aegis heroes in Dota. You see Boom, the way they're playing positioning, they understand they're the ones kind of, at least for now, with this Aegis in play on the back foot.
Yeah, they don't want to fight, not only because of the Aegis, it's also the butterfly that's completed on 23savage. So they're waiting for the MKB to be there for Tino. The only question is, does he buy it out or does he save for buyback as well or something like that? Because it will be dangerous to just complete that MKB.
About 200 or 300 gold away from it, so we'll find out soon enough. He farms his way down towards his bottom lane. Looks like he's going to buy out. Get him the pieces and wants it for this next fight.
If you think about it, T1 will definitely force a fight with the Aegis, so you need to have everything necessary to take down 23savage's TB. There's the smoke, the force of the fight is coming. They have been smoking under a ward, I believe, though.
What a bounty!
But now Tim's is still just shoving out this bottom lane, perhaps not minding if the smoke comes his way, if he dies or whatever it may be. You know, he just wants to make sure keeps the pressure on in terms of the creep waves, and yeah, he'll throw out one last Fade Bolt, then TP himself out of there, knowing that something may be coming his way, and boom, just pulsing around this high ground, charging forward is 23savage. Dire Ward on the cliff, so they know exactly what's kind of coming their way.
You can see FBZ as well. FBZ just waiting to break the smoke. He knows where they are more or less, just if they're smoked or not is perhaps not as clear. MKB has been completed.
Not minding a fight, say boom, at least if it's on their terms, on their side of the map, maybe around this ward. But they've got both teams just dropping wards around this mid lane. Knowing where their opponents are, knowing that this fight could break anytime. They get the telekinesis, start things off on Carl, the root follow-up. They're trying to bait out his BKB, but Carl, he's not biting. He knows he's got the protection of that Aegis, so he wants to hold on to it.
Yeah, you really don't want to be fighting if you're Boom. You're not only playing versus Storm with Aegis, you're playing versus this Raid King that has second life. 5v7, literally, so perhaps better to wait it out a little while longer.
Get their wish if they don't run into T1 anytime soon. The Storm's a bit far away, but to the mid lane, 23savage. He smoked up himself with a ninja gear. Looking like they want to pressure this tier 2 mid tower. Yopaj, he's around, but not looking to put himself too much in harm's way.
And TB that you mentioned is just so big. Like, if you look at his items that right now, he has that Daedal is completed, and there's like the problem with Boom and how they're playing right now is that they were stuck together for way too long, so they weren't necessarily farming. It was mostly Tino. And now they smoke up as the Aegis is about to expire.
Very common play though, so something that T1 may read coming their way. But they've got Wraith King kind of alone. He's got backup not too far away. The Storm going to go balling in. He scouts out the smoke and then immediately zips away. Very heads up play from T1. Felt like they read exactly what Boom were doing there. As I think it is the case with these high-level teams. You kind of know your opponents might smoke out with the Aegis expiring.
And now they're the ones smoking out, and they know exactly where Boom should be. Storm zips in, scan.
Oh, it didn't have detection though. Carl, he needed some kind of detection. He's going to find a new target in the Mars. Is there any fall for him? Carl getting a bit low on mana here. He's going to be a little bit careful. Has the BKB. So with Cuckoo blinking into folders or not, they want to burst on FBZ. He did get an arena off. He gets off a second refresher. Has another arena if he wants to use it here. The route onto the Storm. Is he going to go for a spear of any kind? They've already lost the TB to start things off here, but the PL on the backline's trying to get Cuckoo, but Cuckoo, TP out, he'll be safe. But 2 heroes drop for T1.
Yeah, they get the TB and the Ogre there.
Yeah, Weaver will get off his BKB, gets the kill onto Tim's. He's trying to Shikuchi his way out of this one, but unfortunately for him, there's no escape. They see him, and with the gem on Yopaj, they bring down the Weaver.
His BKB ran out just in time for that arena. To catch him in, lock him in, so they get 3 heroes for 2 in the perfect fight seemingly for Boom. But I feel like it was perfect more because of the force from T1. Storm Spirit zipping in so hard meant that he didn't really have enough mana to follow up afterwards. Once the BKB is used and all the mana, like, he can't truly fight any longer, so he's putting everyone else in a worse position. I really feel that T1 could have taken this fight way better if they just held their horses and approached it differently.
Radiant's bottom
Carl
tower
kind of missed
has
some of the
fallen.
creeps on his ball lightning through. He doesn't have a TP for a little bit, but he's going to get a second creep wave down bottom, so maybe T1 willing to accept one lane of racks dropping here, but not trying to make sure they don't lose
Radiant's
more than just the one
bottom
lane.
barracks are under attack.
Well, they
We'll
do
be
have
back
creeps
up in
on
a
mid lane.
second. Yep. He can go for that second lane. The Weaver will be back in 15 seconds unless he wants to use a buyback, which I don't imagine is the case. It seems like T1 are just playing keep away as they continue to split push out that bottom lane, waiting for these heroes
Radiant's
to
bottom
respawn.
barracks are under attack.
Everyone else has TP'd in though for the side of Boom. I don't know if they want to be waiting any longer because they pretty much have everything that they need. And the double damage rune has spawned, so... Man, T1 just fell apart so hard in that last fight. It was literally anyone's game. They were even 6-7k ahead. And then you just get into this cascade of bad decisions, or just bad moves. One storm zips in, then Wraith King goes in, then Terrorblade, it's like one after another.
Yeah, and we're seeing how it is a struggle for them to start these team fights off. Compare that to Boom with FBZ. He's just going to blink in an Arena Spear the first hero he sees, and if they don't react fast with a BKB, it can just set the kill. And even if it's a support, he's got that refresher, so the ability to go for 2 rounds of BKB plus Arena Spear is such a threat to T1 when their BKBs only last 6 seconds.
Yeah, that last fight as well, though, the fact that they did not manage to kill off Mars before the refresher. It's hard, but it gets harder if you're running in one by one, so they need to kind of converge on the same target at the same time.
Yeah. We're 45 minutes in, and it's less than 1k gold separating these two teams. The match so far delivering as far as what we're expecting here. Weaver in the mid lane gets lifted up before he can pop his BKB, so he gets picked off. Didn't want to BKB the Searing Chains, and that meant Rubik could get a very long-range telekinesis to find an easy kill for
tower is under
Boom.
attack.
High ground we go. They start poking at this tier 3 tower. Tino daring them to go on him. They're going to blink him with the Wraith King. The pop is there from Carl, who pops his BKB on the initiation, but this BL is very tanky, down to half health. Can they finish off the rest? He gets off the doppelganger, gets a little bit further away, but they know where Tino is. They've got the vision for him. They just need 1 or 2 more remnants, and it can't quite finish off the PL. He gets out of the arena. FBZ
Zephyr?
with his
Oh,
arena.
man.
Oh, keep him alive.
FBZ with the perfect Venn diagram right there, putting Tino in the middle. Like, you can't attack him from either of the sides. You need to be in that little elliptical shape that Tino was in. Just yeah, very well played. Mars is on point. FBZ, man, just continues to impress. Very nicely played. Reminds me of
everything.
Yeah. It reminds me of Arc Warden players, if you remember. Well, it reminds me of myself playing Arc Warden when you put 2 bubbles so that you're in the middle of both of them.
Yeah.
And you can't be attacked unless the target is exactly inside with you.
Well,
Radiant's middle
gonna put a
tower
lot of
is
pressure on
under attack.
T1 here. Can they make another defense? Still a little bit of time before some of their BKBs come back up. 15 seconds to the storm. He's got a refresher. He's going to go into the vortex just to try and put some pressure on. Cuckoo follows up the Wraith Fire Blast, but the big problem is 23savage has another metamorphosis. He's gone back in with that Terror Wave. Wants to force them back here. They've killed off the PL to start things off here, and they want more. They know FBZ's a big juicy target. They get the Mars. They get another Axe Vortex off Coral. Triple kill for 23savage. They're doing it. They're turning this one around. The Ember can't make the magic work, and Yopaj gives up his life to 23savage, who gets an ultra kill.
Can you hear this? That's me scratching my head right now. Probably you can't. It's like, okay, so the last time you went high ground, you barely survived, and that was because FBZ had this godlike 2 arenas. So the game plan is to do the exactly same thing, even though your Mars doesn't have anything anymore. He didn't even have 1 arena to work with. That's kind of sus, questionable. Cheese. Okay, Whitemon will pick it up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm not sure really why they just forced it like
Dire's
that.
middle tower has fallen.
Straight back,
Not
ready to
the
push.
best play. No.
Dire's middle
Nope,
tower
and they may have to
is
use some
under
buybacks here to keep themselves in this game. 23savage is going to have double metamorph, double BKB for this fight, potentially.
Dire's middle tower
Oh
is
boy.
under attack.
Having that terror wave for Cuckoo just for 23savage, just giving him that extra bit of metamorphosis was so big in that fight. And now 23savage ready to lead the charge with a refresher shot in his backpack. I'll get the first lane of Rex in mid, and it looks like 23savage wants to swing his way top. Still 20 seconds with no Ember Spirit.
Dire's middle barracks are under
And
attack.
we'll keep T1 at bay for now, though.
Yeah, this game is just insanely back and forth. They move back. Ember, obviously they didn't know that Ember doesn't have a buyback, but 10 seconds, that's possibly enough for Mars to keep you in check, keep you in a spot before Ember comes back in and just deals enough damage. So I like this from T1. A bit more disciplined of an approach. Plus, they're not in a rush. 23savage, he has 5k gold. He can finish off the eggs upgrade even.
Looks like that Ags upgrade plus getting some kind of blink upgrade is going to be his final item for some more mobility. So now they're smoked up there. Hunting was going to clear out their jungle, but seems like Boom know what's coming their way. They remnant away on Yopaj, and Tims has managed to get his way out of there. So T1 not going to connect on this gank.
Radiant
PL is becoming less and less of a problem, I feel like, even though he's gaining network. Breaking in.
Again, they start the fight here with the Wraith King. Metamorphosis from 23savage to follow it up. They're going to take out the Mars instantly, and they're not done. They want this PL. PL is just melting. Tries to double going away, but the Weaver, they've got the vision. The Bug's staying on top of him, and they're chasing. They want more PL with no buyback. This is terrible for Boom. They've got the Aeon Discon Scan, but that just delays the inevitable. With the next Vortex coming into play here, the Mars does initiate in to take up the Storm's first life, but he's got a second with the Aegis. And you're going to imagine he's going to be looking to finish them off here. Fear onto the Ember. The Ember gets the follow-up to TP. Did get killed off by FBZ. He's brought back. They want to close out this game. 23savage keeps spelled. This is their moment. This is where they win this game. The PL not having buyback means they can win this game. FBZ made the nice play to kill 23savage once, but I don't know if they can do it a second time. They're going to need a miracle lizard.
Yeah, he bought back instantly, bought travels, TP'd on that creep. Can they hold though? Very unlikely. TB doesn't have BKB though.
Yeah. This is time for some Yopaj magic. The idol of SEA. We're going to see what he can do here. It's 4 versus 5 though. Tims with the Stolen Swarm just trying to poke them out here. He's even got a Dagon on the Rubik here, trying to just get some extra damage output to deal with some of these heroes, but it looks like they're going to give up the top racks here. So that's 2 full lanes. Oh, not quite. About to be 2 full lanes going T1's way.
Almost.
Swinging bottom. Yeah. 16 health on that range rack stop. They really want to just go for all 3 lanes before the PL respawns, knowing he has no buyback after using it previously.
I feel like you should be able to hold until PL is up. Cuckoo jumping in.
Oh, yeah. Found Tims in the trees here. But he gets away with the Aeon Disc, but there's the root. Gleipnir keeping him in place here, and Tims is in some trouble here, but does keep himself alive. Still has that Stolen Swarm, but they're watching their Raxes fall. They're going to quickly be up against Mega Crypts if they're not careful here. Carl on the back foots, the 2 hero roots here with the Searing Chains. Yopaj threatening Cuckoo's life, but that's just his first life with the Reincarnation. Nice BKB from 23savage to stop the glimpse back. He goes for the TP. Is there a Searing Chain?
The illusion,
No.
the illusion, the illusion. It's gonna get it. Yeah.
Gets the Mega Creeps.
Yeah, that's why he did it, right? He popped the BKB just to form that illusion and send it to get the last remaining barracks. We're in a state of the game in which it doesn't really matter. Like, you can still play off against Megas 52 minutes in, right?
Okay.
You can definitely defend. You have the Ember, the Mars. You can do it. It's just the fact that PL doesn't feel nearly as scary, and it was the perfect overture to how they killed Tino in that mid lane, right? You have Storm Spirit with Aghanims. You have this rating that literally itemized everything into making PL as miserable as possible. And the overwhelming blink, the Shiva's Guard, the Radiance, everything is there. Boom had their chances, but I feel like, yeah, it's gonna be hard now.
It just feels like the PL is kind of tickling people. He's hard to kill and bring down. They have to throw a lot of the PL, but that goes both ways with the way T1 have itemized, so... See if T1 can close this one out. Mega Creeps advantage. We've seen these Mega Creeps comebacks. We've seen them in SCA a lot. I cast TI qualifiers, and I think I saw like 3 Mega Creeps qualifiers in just those qualifiers alone in one tournament, so it's not unheard of.
Yep, and if you think about it, 23savage did use his buyback in the last fight, right, in that push. So if they set up some sort of a fight in which they can pick him up first, that could be massive for Boom, so it's definitely possible.
He's
very unlikely.
They're going to have this... But it is this window where his buyback's on cooldown while heroes like PL and Ember are going to have buyback. The PL is still a couple minutes away, but they're going to have like a 2-minute window where they can maybe take a fight with 2 lives on their PL while 23savage has just the 1 life.
If they manage to farm that gold up as well, because that's an issue. But look at Boom's... Look at the smoke from them. This is like so far off the mark.
They've got some clipboards down. They see a lot here. Yopaj BKBs as he runs into the pit. He's a little bit afraid as he does see a lot of these heroes here, but now his backups arrived. FBZ, he's the frontline Mars here. He needs to find a good arena target. Unfortunately for him, Cuckoo manages to walk his way out of this one. He just blinks back in. Cuckoo doesn't care. 2 hero pull from the Storm Spirit, followed up by Cuckoo just charging forward. They've already killed off the Mars and they want more. Tim's trying to steal what spells he can as everybody on the Boom side is just getting the hell out of there.
Yeah, the meta actually has been used. 23savage was forcing a couple of TPs back into the base, and it feels like he wants to continue pressuring this. Mars is dead, he knows that. He knows that he doesn't have a buyback, so this is as good of a time as any to close out the game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're going to look to force things here. Can they find a way to bring down 23savage? That's the big target they probably want to go on, but he's taking out those Tier 4 towers. Meanwhile, Cuckoo just keeping the Boom heroes at bay, keeping them away from this push. 23savage just focusing objectives, and it's up to Boom to make their play. They blink in, they go on 23savage, they get him low, but he needs a Sunder target, and he's found it. He turns around, Sunder's an illusion. He's going to be A-OK as Cuckoo on the Wraith King does die a second time. They bolt back on the Storm, who did get taken out by Yopaj, and Boom, it looks like for now they will hold. They've lost their T4 towers. Multiple buybacks coming in. T1, they want to close out this game, it feels like, but at the same time, they're also ditching this push, knowing that if they feed here, this game can quickly go the other way.
They buy back 2 heroes, which looks maybe a little bit, well, too soon. But at the same time, Roshan is about to spawn. And if you don't buy back instantly, maybe you're giving Boom that chance to strike first, pick off one of your heroes while you're fighting 4v5, and then when you buy back, suddenly it doesn't truly matter anymore. So maybe it feels a bit premature, but better safe than sorry, perhaps. And defend, which gives enemy the amount of information that they need to do whatever they want on the map. That's what makes them overpowered, so... We'll see. 10 seconds away from Rosh. Very early one as well.
Yeah, we'll see if Boom make any move to defend it or do anything to address Roshan. For now, it looks like it's a big no.
Double damage.
Potential Aegis as well as Refresher and Aghanim Scepter. You got, you know, the full shebang. Roshan number 4. Yep. See where this Ags ends up. It's not bad on someone like a Weaver even here, potentially.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
And Roshan will go down uncontested.
Is mine.
Oh, Cuckoo gets
give
the
it to
Ags.
Cuckoo? Yeah, when you're going for that throne, extra 6 seconds sounds pretty good. Is it 6? 7 seconds. Extra 7 seconds. I was wrong.
Yep. Yeah, they may just make that call. Okay, we can't win a team fight convincingly, but what we can do is just BKB and hit this throne, which doesn't have a glyph of fortification for a couple of minutes, so T1 may just try and prioritize to end this game.
Yeah, you can see how scared Boom is. They just know what's coming, and yeah, it's gonna be a very... Oh, Tims, hello.
Yep. Blink in. They start things off here onto the Rubik, but he does have the M. Just keep himself alive a bit longer. He's gonna have to buy back for this fight here. The Demon Seal from 23savage. He's pushing them all away with that Terror Wave. Does find himself in the middle of things as Cuckoo in that arena loses his first life here. Can they kill him a second time without Yopaj? His defense is going to be so goddamn hard. TB, the big bad raid boss, another pull in from the Storm Spirit. That's going to get the PL. The PL has to buy back for the last ditch effort here to defend. Second arena from FBZ is enough to keep them trapped in a circle, but they can't kill any of these heroes. PL's bought back. He's now died back, and that's got to be the end as Boom, GG out. Great game 1 between these two teams, and it's T1 who walk away with the victory.